Welcome to all, and first of all I would like to thank our distinguished guests for being with us today. The seminar topic is titled Intervisuality, Imitations, Innovations, Citations. What emerged at the end of the day are some questions, as W.J.T. Mitchell asks. Is it an academic collusion without critical resistance to a society of spectacle and surveillance? What are the limits of a politics of the visual? Should art history expand its horizon not just beyond the sphere of the work of art, but also beyond images and visual objects to the visual practices, the ways of seeing and being seen, what makes up the world of human visuality? Should art history become visual culture? I leave these questions to be discussed by the scholars in this field who are here with us in this seminar.
Thankful to Nanda Kumar for giving a very encouraging introduction to myself. One of the questions that have deeply concerned me with regard to the art of Bhupen Katkar is to understand the importance of his sexuality in the very structuring of his art. Further, I am not concerned merely about the experiential realm of a gay painter and its reflection in art, but my intention is to elicit larger political meaning of his art. I would like to end the presentation with a quote from Michel Foucault, a quote that I make makes my overall contention clearer. I quote, "Sexuality is part of our behavior. It is part of our world of freedom. It is our own creation, and much more than that, the discovery of a secret side of our desire. Sex is not fatality. It is a possibility for creative life."
So, the title of this paper for today is Overlapping Visualities, New Media, Technology and Cultural Practices in India. The paper tries to understand the problems and possibilities of the discourses that deal with new media art practice in India. The paper also tries to propose a possible methodological framework taking into consideration some of the methodological problems of current frameworks on the history of new media art practices in India.
Following my conversation with Bipin, I would like to add a dimension to our discussion on intervisuality by introducing the concept of process. So, in other words, can we highlight the making of the work of art, the gray areas in between the unmade and the made state of the work. When the piece is not official, it doesn't have the official stamp on it, the piece is still in a state of flux. So mostly through my own work, through my installations, I would like to show that such an intervisuality does exist.
I think there are other corresponding aspects which I can mention. Suppose if you take the example of sound, the way sound is being amplified and reproduced, and even sold as artifacts. And context also has to be grounded in an understanding of visual objects as inhabiting a public and political world, rather than a private, hermetically sealed off domain of aesthetic contemplation, where they are in contested dialogue with each other and with other agents of communication, as they jostle for the attention of the beholder turned spectator consumer. Ultimately, it is the image's public presence that enables its pedagogic function of training the eye to see in particular ways, of producing particular forms of visual knowledge and practices, and in helping to generate the society's codes and habits of seeing and being seen. Habits of seeing and being seen is a geology of visuality. Thank you so much.
Now let us think in terms of visuality. Without being philosophical, just think in terms of what visuality involves. Now, any visuality, for that matter, if I were to use a word, is inclusive.
In this paper, I attempt to primarily trace some critical historical departures in the ways in which the concepts of cross-referencing or citation in art have been engaged with by some practicing artists. In conjunction with this, I examine the ways in which they have structured art historical analysis and methodologies at large in ways that have brought into focus questions of authorship, the original and the copy, artistic originality, reproduction of images, and questions of appropriation. Finally, in the Indian context, I attempt to illustrate the diverse modalities through which the aspect of referentiality comes into play by means of a critical engagement with the works of Pushpamala N, Ghulam Mohammad Sheikh, and Rashmi Mala.
Paper somewhat digresses from this general thematic. I will start reading. The question of intervisuality, as it is put forth by the organizers of this seminar, is something that is by and large dependent on a logic immanent to visual art practices, which then has to be drawn out through an active engagement with the visual realm. The word that it displaces may be intertextuality. The substitution of the textual with the visual involves a subtle change which propounds to problematize the legacy of art history. And
my paper is titled as Some Notes on the Postmodern Fables of Our Time. So I'm going to read the paper. I will show a few visuals in between as well as in the end of the presentation. Intervisuality as a concept is largely structured around the question of referentiality in visual art. As a matter of fact, this referentiality is an essential part of any cultural expression. In fact, referentiality as such is one of the fundamental characteristics of any form of representation. Earlier to contemporary attempts to construct a grand narrative of continuous development of cultural history in general and art history in particular have also been structured around this aspect of referentiality.
And there is a Kabir poem inside, in the sanctum, on both sides. Naame dharmi, nahi adharmi. I don't know whether you know that one. And also there is a very fine poem, which is a very beautifully visual poem called Murshid Naino Beech Nabi Hai. It means that he says that Murshid means Guru. So here is actually the pupil is telling the Guru, not Guru telling the pupil. He said that Naino Beech Nabi Hai. Your prophet lies in your eyes. Sangat would mean sitting together. They have, every meeting of those who believe in Kabir, is believed to be meeting of minds or meeting. In a way, it relates to bringing together everything. And I thought that it's the right way to end it. Okay.